the brave kitten, and the storm. In the quiet corner of a cozy little house, nestled by a vast green forest, lived a tiny kitten named Pip, with fur as soft as dandelion fluff and eyes the color of summer skies. Pip was the smallest in his family, but he had the biggest heart. His favorite thing in the world was chasing butterflies in the sun-drenched meadow behind his home, Tor. One afternoon, the sky, once a brilliant blue, began to grumble. Dark, moody clouds rolled in, swallowing the sun. The wind started to whisper, then howl, and soon, a mighty storm crashed down. Fat raindrops hammered against the windows. Pip, who had wandered a little too far, chasing a particularly stubborn ladybug, found himself lost and alone as the world turned into a blur of wind and water. Terrified, he scrambled under a large fern, shivering not just from the cold, but from fear. The thunder roared like a giant lion, and Pip had never felt so small. When the storm finally quieted down to a gentle patter, Pip peeked out. Everything was different. The familiar path was gone, and the forest looked strange and menacing. Tears welled up in his blue eyes. Just then, a wise old owl named Hoot landed softly on a branch above him. "Lost, little one?" Hoot asked, his voice calm and kind. Pip nodded, unable to speak. "Don't you worry," Hoot cooed. "The forest can be a friend if you know how to ask for help. I will guide you." Hoot flew ahead, and Pip scampered to keep up. Soon, they met a busy squirrel named Squeaky, who was frantically checking his acorn stash. "The river has swollen," Squeaky chattered. "The old log bridge is gone." Pip's heart sank. The river was the only way back home. Seeing Pip's despair, Squeaky offered, "I know a secret path over the rocks, but we'll need to work together." A moment later, a strong, gentle badger named Barnaby emerged from his burrow. "I heard the commotion," he rumbled. "I can help move the heavy stones to make the path safe." Pip watched in awe. The owl offered his sharp eyes, the squirrel his nimble speed, and the badger his incredible strength. He realized he had a part to play too. Hugh was small enough to squeeze through tight gaps and check for loose rocks, making the path safer for everyone. He wasn't just a lost kitten anymore, he was part of a team. They encouraged each other, sharing stories and warmth as they navigated the changed landscape. Pip learned that courage wasn't about not being afraid, it was about being afraid and doing the right thing anyway. Finally, they reached the roaring river. It was a terrifying sight, a rushing torrent of brown water. The path Squeaky mentioned was a series of slippery, jagged rocks. Pip's legs trembled. He remembered his family, his warm bed, and his mother's soft purr. That thought gave him a surge of determination. Taking a deep breath, he followed Squeaky, placing his paws carefully where Barnaby had secured the stones. He leaped from one rock to another, his heart pounding a brave rhythm against his ribs. He didn't look down at the scary water. He looked ahead, toward home. On the other side, exhausted but exhilarated, Pip could see the familiar glow of his houselight. He turned to his new friends. "Thank you," he meowed, his voice full of gratitude. "I couldn't have done it without you." Hoot, Squeaky, and Barnaby all smiled. "You were brave, little Pip," Barnaby said. "You found the courage inside yourself." When Pip finally tumbled through the cat flap, his family rushed to greet him with licks and purrs. He told them all about his grand adventure, the scary storm, and the amazing friends he made. From that day on, Pip was no longer just the smallest kitten. He was Pip the Brave, the little hero who learned that even in the biggest storms, the light of friendship and a little bit of courage can always guide you home. Thanks so much for watching our story today. If you enjoyed Pip's adventure, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more heartwarming tales. We'll see you in the next video.